everyone, my name is Patty and welcome to our fourth session of virtual yoga. Today I wanted to create a recharge session for you. Maybe a practice that will help recharge our batteries as this quarantine is running long, maybe longer than some of us expected. So maybe something just to freshen things up a bit. We can practice this yoga together. One of my yoga teachers, T.S. Little, mentioned in an email recently that we're not actually practicing social distancing. He calls it physical distancing. And it's a time where we can definitely stay in contact with each other, where we can kind of reconnect with those that we choose to connect with. And so see if maybe you can find some time to connect with people that are important to you, or maybe connect with an activity that helps recharge your batteries. We'll start off today with a 2-minute meditation. Again, 2 minutes just to kind of settle in. And so find a comfortable position. Again, you can use a pillow, a bolster. You can sit in a chair if you like, whatever's comfortable. You're at home, so you can press pause whenever you feel like it. We'll start and end with the sound of the bowl. And again, just try and focus in on your breath. If you feel a thought or you notice a thought coming in, just label it and let it go. It's okay for the thoughts to come and go. We just want to notice that they're coming and then bring ourselves back to our breath. If they were closed, start to come back into the room around you, your body. Take one more cleansing breath. And now we can find our mats and come into a comfortable seated position. We'll call it Sukhasana, which is easy pose. As my daughters call it, crisscross applesauce. You can feel your sit bones grounding into the earth, plugging back in to recharge your spirit, recharge your energy, recharge your thoughts. And come back to your breath. Breath is always there, always available to anchor us. So on your next inhale, reach up with your arms. And exhale, bring your hands in front of you, rock forward onto your knees, and I'll turn here. As we stack our hips over our knees, bring your toes together to touch, and release your hips back down towards your heels. If you've got sore knees, you can put a blanket right behind your knees. If you like, you can also use a block under your forehead and come into child's pose. Whatever you can do to support your practice is awesome. Just release your forehead. Sometimes we have a tendency to turn our head, but when we find symmetry and we find our center, that actually is another signal to our brain to relax. On an inhale, reach back up and come into tabletop, stacking your hips over your knees, stacking your shoulders over your hands. On an inhale, drop your belly down, bring your tailbone out, reach your heart forward into cow, Vittalasana. Let's be careful not to release our shoulders and just kind of dump here. Let's press away, maintain that integrity. And on an exhale, tuck your tailbone round your back and come into cat. Inhale, back into cow, and just do a few of these on your own breath. Just noticing what is. Exhale. At your own pace, on your own rhythm. Just a nice little warm up for our spine. Now come back into neutral, and you can press your right heel back. Let's bring our navel up towards our spine so we find that integrity of our spine, find length here. Press through our right heel. Maybe you stay here. Maybe, if you'd like a little more, you reach your left arm forward. Glide your shoulder blade back down your back. Bend your right knee. Maybe you reach for your right foot with your left hand. And being mindful, again, not to dunk down here. Draw your navel in. And this is as much a hip opener as it is a heart opener. So open up. Draw your knee up just a little bit more. Roll your shoulder, that left shoulder back. Press away from the mat with the right hand. And gently release and come back down. Other side. Press your left heel back towards the back. Beautiful. Draw your navel in. So we don't want to hyperextend our spine here. Draw it in. Find length through the spine. That includes the neck here. So our gaze is up at the top of the mat. Reach your right arm forward. Draw the scapula, the shoulder blade back. And now maybe you bend that right knee. Maybe, that left knee. Maybe you reach back for the left foot through the right hand. And see if you can, drawing your navel in and maintaining that integrity of the spine. Maybe you open up, roll the right shoulder open, bring the knee up just a little bit further up, kick into the right palm with the top of the left foot, and gently release back down. Beautiful. Now, curling your toes under or keeping them curled if they were already there, let's walk our hands back as we come into a modified hero's pose. I'll face you. And what we can do is we can rock back and forth. And sometimes this feels good on the bottom of our feet, the plantar fascia. This could even, if you've got tight calves, this could even feel like a stretch for your calves. And while we're doing that, let's bring our arms out. We can just roll our wrists. A lot of us are on the computer a lot these days, whether on Zoom meetings or something online. So we just want to roll out these wrists. You can bring the right thumb to the inside of the left palm, wrap your forefingers around, and just come into a nice stretch of the wrist. Breathe. And release. Come to the other side, bring the left thumb to the inside of the right palm. Wrap the forefingers around and just get a nice stretch on the other side. And just breathe. It may seem simple, but how many times do we actually do this? You can do this next time you're sitting at the keyboard. And release. A couple of small circles. Beautiful. Now let's come back into tabletop. And we're going to do something different with our knees. And let's make sure, with our wrists, let's make sure that our hips are stacked over our knees. Our shoulders are over our hands. And now maybe you want to stay here. And sometimes if this is a little hard on our wrists, we can bring something up, maybe a blanket or a towel, underneath our palms to reduce the amount of wrist extension that we're doing here. If you'd like, we can turn our fingers to face our feet. And maybe that's enough of a stretch for you. Maybe you need to bring it in a little. Okay? Just notice. Maybe if you'd like a little bit more, you can rock back and forth. Okay? To where you feel a stretch on that front side of your forearm. And just notice. Notice, compare the two sides. And when you've had enough of that, bring your hands back into neutral. Maybe you'd like to try the other side. So come onto the backs of your hands, if that's comfortable. If you ever feel any pain, then please stop. Yoga is not a no pain, no gain type of exercise. Listen to your body. And we can rock back and forth, or you can just find stillness. Whatever you feel like your body needs. You are the expert in your body. Now gently come back. Spread your fingertips wide and just notice how comfortable that feels now. Placing your palms on the mat and just grounding in through all 10 fingers. And now let's reach our right foot back and curling your toes under here, we're just going to rock back and forth. Okay? Getting a nice little stretch, starting to stretch out through the calves. Again. And on your next exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. And now maybe you can step your right foot through. If that doesn't work, you're welcome to use your blocks, especially for the next side around. Okay. Or you can use your hand to bring your foot between, use your hand to bring your foot between your hands. Sometimes you just need a little bit of support. However you can get it is fine. And we're going to come into gate pose, like a variation. So swing this left foot. We're going to swing it to the right. We'll walk our hands over to the middle. Straighten through this right knee. And you can point your toes facing the same way you are, or you can reach your toes out, okay, whatever's comfortable. And if you're pointing them to the front, then you can bring the outside edge of your right foot to the front edge of the mat. So as we're here, we're going to inhale and come up. And I want you to notice this right hip, is it stacked over this left hip, is it stacked over the right knee? So notice if this left hip is stacked over the left knee. On an inhale, bring it up. Exhale, release the right hand to the right thigh. And now inhale, we're going to reach up, 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 and over. And we're going to circle around like a big rainbow. Inhale, come back up. You're just going to find movement here. Just find what's comfortable for you. You can move just your arm. You can move your whole torso if you like. Just notice that movement and what that does, where you feel it. You're back up here at the top. Let's exhale and bring both hands to our waist. You can come back down. And as we circle around, bend your right knee and come back into tabletop. We'll do the other side now, reaching your left heel back. We're curling our left toes under, pressing through this left heel. You may have to adjust your hand placement. And just find what feels comfortable. What does that feel like? What does that feel like compared with the other side? On your next exhale, bend your left hip, bend your left knee, bring your left knee to your nose, and now step this left foot through. You might need help, like I just did, bringing your left foot between your hands. Okay. Perfectly okay to support yourself wherever you need it. And now swing this right foot to the left side of your mat. Walk your hands over. Stretch through this left leg, straightening through the left knee, and finding the foot position that's comfortable. On an inhale, bring your hands up to your hip. Notice your head over heart, heart over pelvis. Notice this right hip directly over the right knee. So we don't want to be wonky over here. Have good alignment. On an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your left hand to the left thigh. And inhale, reach up, 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 and over. And you can circle around, again like we did on the other side. And just sync up to your movement. Sync up to your breath. Find your rhythm, whatever works for you. You can move your whole torso. You can move just your arm. But just notice. And reach up. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your waist. Bring both hands to the right in front of you and bend the left knee, bring it in, walk back over into tabletop. Curl your toes under and spiral your shoulders. Externally rotate the shoulder to spiral the eye of your elbow towards the front of the room and bring your hips up into downward facing dog. You can find some movement here. Walk your dog. Or you can find stillness. I always like to move around. I find stillness during meditation. I like to move. One more breath here in downward dog. Inhale, look through your hands. Exhale, step it through. Uttanasana, forward fold. So I want you to bend your knees here. Release the crown of your head down towards the mat. Sometimes we always want to look and be aware of anything that's happening, but just turn your attention inward. Reach for your opposite elbows. That can be in front of your knees or it can be behind your thighs. Just relieve yourself of any grasp. Just release here. You can sway again to find movement or stillness, whichever you're comfortable with. Release your hands to the tops of your feet. And on an inhale, slide them up your shins. Come into half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And come into Tadasana, nice and slow. Let's ground down through all 5 toes. Grounding through the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe, the center of the heel. Plugging in, recharging through the earth. And feel that energy rise up. So we contract these quadricep muscles here. We'll feel our kneecaps come up. Drawing our navel in, broadening through our collarbones here. And feeling that cascade of energy coming down our back body. On your next inhale, reach up. And exhale, swan dive down, bending both knees to come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back, heart open, and exhale, release. Plant both palms and step back into plank. Now you're on your tippy toes here and drawing your navel in, keeping your hips about the same height as your shoulders. We're going to be here in plank for a moment, so we breathe. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful. And now we'll send our navel up into downward facing dog. You may need to readjust your feet here, and that's fine. And just breathe. And 1 more breath here in downward dog. On an inhale, look through your hands. On an exhale, step it through and come into half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. I'll come over here. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, shining your heart forward. Exhale, soften, fold, and plant your hands rather, and come into plank. So here you're welcome to meet us in downward dog. You're welcome to wait in, maybe take a break in child's pose, balasana. Or you can come into knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Either way, keeping your elbows close to your side body. Releasing the tops of your feet. Inhale into cobra. And exhale, downward dog. When you come back into downward dog, you're welcome to take a pit stop in tabletop. It's always okay. Take another breath here. Shine those sit bones up to the sky. And rock forward into plank. Draw your navel in and ground your tailbone towards your heels. Good. 1 more breath here. And we'll rock forward. You can knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, whatever is comfortable. Your choice. Release the tops of your feet. Bring your hands down to the bottom of your rib cage. Keeping your elbows close, come up into baby cobra. And exhale back down. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, come up. Let's make sure our elbows are back. And exhale back down. Last time, press the tops of your feet, press through the pelvis, press into your hands, all while strengthening through that back. And exhale, back down. Now we're going to press back up into tabletop. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders, and curl your toes under. Send your hips up into downward dog. Breathe here. And now gently walk your hands back towards your feet to come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Now here we're going to let our fingertips just graze the mat as we bend our hips, bend our knees. Sweep your arms back into chair pose with airplane arms. If you're ready, you can bring your arms up to chair pose, the full expression. See if you can. Exhale, forward fold. Good. I won't leave you there too long. Breathe here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. You can walk your hands forward and come back into plank. Drawing your navel in, bringing your tailbone to point towards your heels. Hold it here. Press away from the mat. Don't let it collapse. You're always welcome to come onto your knees. Or if you're having problems with your wrists, you can come here. Whatever you find that works for you. And we'll chaturanga down, or actually forward, or you can knees, chest, chin. Okay? Whichever one is comfortable for you. Release the tops of your feet, press away, and come into cobra. Exhale back down, and downward facing dog. Anytime we do a vinyasa, you're always welcome to skip it, meet us in downward dog, or to take a break at any point in child's pose. That's not only during this class, but it's also during any class. Always welcome to take a break in child's pose. On an inhale, look through your hands. On an exhale, step it through. Let your fingertips graze the mat. Drop your hips down. Good. And sweep your arms back, opening up through the collarbones. Inhale, reach your arms up. Chair pose, sometimes called fierce pose for a reason. Exhale, come back down into forward fold, releasing the crown of your head towards the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Plant your hands and step back into plank. You can skip the vinyasa or take one if you feel you'd like to. It's your practice, it's your choice. Breathe here. And on an inhale, look through your hands. Exhale, step it through. Forward fold. Release the crown of your head. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back into plank. And now we're going to all meet on our bellies on the mat. So however you can get there, you can knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Either way, keeping your elbows close to your side body. Now press away from the mat, bringing your elbows under your shoulders. And we'll come into Sphinx pose. You can either wait for us here, or another option is to press into the tops of the feet and your forearms, bringing your hips up to the same level as your shoulders, and holding it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. That wasn't so bad. Let's try that 2 more times, or you can skip it, whatever your choice is. And come up for 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. And we'll do it one more time. Promise, this is a Sphinx variation. Pressing into the tops of your feet, pressing away from the mat. Good. Drawing your navel in, contracting those abdominal muscles for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's hard to talk while I'm up there. So that is the Sphinx pose. So now we'll bring our hands back under. We'll come back up into downward dog. Breathe here. Hopefully you're feeling your energy come back. You're recharging your batteries. Breathe here one more time. On an inhale, bring your right leg back. On an exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. Inhale, right knee, right leg back. And exhale, step it through. Bring your left knee down to the mat into low lunge. Rise up on an inhale. Beautiful. Now if you'd like to come up into high lunge, you can use both hands on your front thigh and you can come up. You're into high lunge. Draw your navel in. Ground your tailbone down. Beautiful. On an exhale, hinge forward. You can use your blocks here, and you can watch what I'm going to do. We're going to come into runner's lunge. So where we're up here, bring your hips down. Okay, stack this front knee over the front ankle. And this is runner's lunge. Okay, roll your shoulders open. And it's okay to use help. Use that support to help you in your practice. Okay, and we're going to come into 3 hops. You can skip it. Okay, but see if you can. Okay, we're just going to hop switch. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so once we get into our 3rd hop switch, we're going to come up into high lunge. Notice the stretch on the opposite hip now. And now release your left arm open to the back. Reach your right arm forward for a twist. On an inhale, circle your left arm up to meet the right. And come back up into high lunge. Exhale, open up. Inhale, circle back. Exhale, open. And inhale, circle. Let's do that one more time. Exhale, open up to the left. And inhale, circle up. Beautiful. Draw your navel in. Making sure to provide that stability at the spine. On an exhale, hinge forward. Place your hands on the blocks or next to your foot. And step back into plank. You can use the blocks or you can ditch them. And here, find your vinyasa. You can knees, chest, chin, chaturanga forward, skip it and meet us in downward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. Press your chest towards your thighs. Press your heels down towards the earth. On your next inhale, look through your hands. Exhale, step it forward. Come into forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way back up, up, up. Reaching your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, swan dive. Coming into forward fold. Plant your palms. Step back into plank, drawing your navel in, bring your hips up to the same height as your shoulders. And now feel a wave coming through and bring it back into downward facing dog. You may need to adjust your feet if you like. One more breath here. Finding length through your spine. And now bring your knees down to the mat, maybe a little bit wider or hip width apart. And bring your toes to touch. Release your heels, your hips down to your heels. And come down into child's pose. Just rest here. Take a breath. Rest in child's pose, Balasana. Just notice what is. Start to walk your hands back. Roll it up. And you can bring your knees together if that's comfortable. Inhale, reach up with your arms. Exhale, bring your left hand behind your left hip and your right hand to the outside of the left thigh and come into a stretch. Take an inhale here as you straighten through your spine, lengthen, reach up with the crown of your head, and exhale, deepen the twist. Inhale, reach back up with both arms. And exhale, now off to the right, bringing your right hand behind your right hip, bringing your left hand to the outside of the left thigh. Finding length through the spine. Take a deep breath in, reach up, and on an exhale, deepen the twist. Reach up, 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 both arms. And exhale, come in front of you. Place your hands under your shoulders and come into tabletop. From here you can cross your shins behind you or put both of your feet off to one side as you walk back onto your bottom. We're going to come into Dandasana, which is seated staff pose. So straighten your legs in front of you, point your toes up towards the sky, bringing your toes together and a slight space between your heels. Press your hands on either side of your hips, bringing your fingertips to face your feet, or you can bring your hands out to the side if that's more comfortable. Roll your shoulders back, open through the heart space. And now what you can do is we're going to come into seated forward fold, which is Paschimottanasana. And if you're pretty bendy, you can reach forward. If you need a little bit of help, like I do, we can grab our strap, our trusty strap. And the goal is to create space. It's not to reach the toes. The goal is to have an experience. It's not to look like cover of a magazine or look how far I can bend. This is your own practice, your own experience. And each experience that you have at the mat is different, unique, and your own. So I encourage you to open up through your collarbones. On an inhale, reach your sternum up towards the sky. On an exhale, reach your sternum towards your toes. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Bring your elbows out if you're using the strap. Okay? Again, to create that space, to have that experience. Notice where you feel it. Notice what this does. Just notice where in your body you're having that experience. And gently release. Remove the strap. Place it off to the side. And now we will place our hands, bend both knees, place your hands behind your thighs, okay? Roll your shoulders back, and bring your torso back at about 45-degree angle, whatever is comfortable. We're going to come into boat pose, Navasana. So you can keep your hands here, and you can stay right here if this is a good workout for you, and you feel your abdominal muscles contracting, drawing your navel in. That's perfect. Otherwise, you can reach your arms forward. Maybe you bring your feet up to bring your shins parallel with the ground. Again, don't cave here. Open up. Create this space right here and reach forward. Okay? Maybe you stay here, or if you're so inclined, you can straighten through your knees and look like a big V, a capital V. You can even do toe taps. So you can do 10 toe taps. Okay? And being mindful to maintain this integrity of your spine. Okay? Whatever works for you, whatever's comfortable. And when you're done, just gently come down, slowly, slowly, extending through your knees and your hips, to come down on your back. Bend both knees, and now bring your left ankle across your right knee. We're going to come into reclining pigeon. So if this is comfortable for you right here, go ahead and stay here. Maybe even press your left hand against your left knee to increase the rotation here at the hip, so you feel a stretch. If you'd like a little bit more, bring your right knee towards your chest, interlacing your fingers behind your thigh, or maybe even in front of your shin. Maybe you use your left elbow to press your left knee out just a little bit more into more rotation. And this is a great stretch for your piriformis. Your piriformis is a leg rotator in your hip, and it can get really tight when we sit for long periods of time. So this is a great one to do when you've been sitting. You can even do this while you're sitting at your desk, if you can imagine sitting up in this position, crossing your leg, and maybe pressing away on your knee. Gently come down, unravel this left leg. Bring the right leg, now bring the right ankle on top of the left knee. Again, you're welcome to stay here. Press away on the right knee using the right hand to increase the rotation. Feel the stretch. If you'd like a little bit more, bring your left knee up to your chest, interlacing your fingers either behind your knee or in front. Wherever you feel the stretch, it's your practice. And maybe even use your right elbow to press away on your right knee. See if you can keep both feet active with the toes pointing up towards the sky. And just breathe here. I could stay here for a really long time, but I won't do that to you. We'll release the left knee, unravel the right leg, and gently bring both legs out to rest in front of you. Let's bring our right hand to our heart. Bring our left hand overhead. And on an exhale, we're going to slide our right hand across along our left hand, bringing our right hand just to rest on top of our left palm. Inhale, come back, slide your hand back along your left arm, back onto your heart. Exhale, come back. Maybe press through that right heel. Notice what that does. And inhale, come back. Exhale last time for this twist. And inhale, come back. Reach your right arm up over your head, kind of like you're coming into a giant X. Bring your left hand onto your heart. See if you can press through this left heel, pressing down this way. And on an exhale, bring your left hand, guiding it along that right arm till your left palm rests on top of your right palm. And inhale, slide it back. Exhale, slide the hand along the forearm. Press through the left heel. And inhale, bring it back. We're going to do that one more time. Exhale, twist. Left palm meets the right. And inhale, come back. Release both hands off to the side. Bend both knees, bringing both feet out to the outer edges of your mat. You can bring them as close to your hips as is comfortable, but if you have knee problems and you know that your knees get kind of sore and achy, you might want to bring them a little bit further and reduce the amount of flexion at your knee. Okay? You might want to bring your arms out a little bit. On an exhale, release both knees off to the left. Just notice where you feel that. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, we're going to do what we call windshield wipers here. So sync up with your own breath. Sync up and do these on your own rhythm. One more time, each side. And when you come back to center, bring your feet back on the mat. Bend your knees, bring them up to your chest. And see if you can slide your hands on the inside of your knees and reach around to grasp the outer edges of your feet. Press the bottoms of your feet up towards the sky. Press against your hands to bring them up into happy baby. You can roll from side to side like we once did when we were babies. Or you can find stillness, pressing the bottom of your feet up towards the sky. Imagine what it was like when you didn't have a care in the world. And gently relax. Release both feet down to the mat and bring them to rest into corpse pose, Shavasana. Bring your feet equally distant away from your midline. Bring your arms equally distant away from your body as you tuck your shoulder blades one at a time under your heart space. Take a deep breath here. Spiral your palms open. Just let the benefits of your practice sink in Shavasana. You can do this for 5 to 10 minutes, ideally. Do as long as you like. When you're ready to come out, if you'd like more time, press pause. But if you're ready, you can bend both knees. Bring one arm up over your head and roll over onto your side in the fetal position. Rest here for a moment. And when you're ready, use both hands to press into the earth and come up into a comfortable seated position. Take a deep breath as you reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale and bring both hands to rest in front of your heart. Thank you for being present here to recharge. Thank you for sharing your practice. Namaste.